At the risk of sounding like a complete fanboy for NXT, who cares? I am. This episode of NXT was goddamn awesome. I loved it. NXT is at its best when it features a lot of wrestlers. It's very chaotic. That's when NXT is at its best, and that's what it was tonight. It was one of my favorite NXTs of recent memory. So let's just get into it because I want to talk about it. The show starts with Stephanie Vaquer saying that after the opening match of tonight, she's gonna make a decision of who she's gonna face at Stand and Deliver, and that leads us directly into a match between Jordynne Grace and Jada Parker. A pretty okay match, an unfortunate botch by Jordynne Grace on a suicide dive. At least she took it like a champ, and afterwards on Twitter I believe she said that that's what a real suicide dive looks like. If you get it, you get it. But the match ends in disqualification after Stephanie Vaquer gets involved, and then Giulia returns. I don't know how to feel about that. I'm gonna get to that in a second. She returns, she takes out both Jordynne Grace and Jada Parker, and then it seems like she and Stephanie Vaquer are gonna hug it out, but then she betrays Stephanie Vaquer, a Giulia heel turn maybe, and Giulia stands tall with the championship. Later on in the night, Stephanie Vaquer announces she's gonna face 3 women. So it's gonna be a fatal 4-way, Stephanie versus Giulia versus Jada versus Jordynne. Let's talk about it. I don't know how to feel about Giulia returning. I love Giulia, she's amazing, I'm excited to have her back, but I'm starting to wonder what the real plan was. I was expecting her to be out a lot longer, and if that's all the time she was going to be out, we could have maybe just played an injury angle with her, but I don't know what's going on. Regardless, I don't really care because this was all hype. And when it comes to Jada Parker, I see a lot of people saying she doesn't deserve to be in this match. Guys, she's the best talker in NXT right now. Nobody else on the women's division compares to her when it comes to the mic. Nobody. I was gonna say maybe Roxanne Present, and I instantly regret it. Jada Parker is levels above everyone else, and she deserves to be in it. It's not all about in-ring work. Sometimes you gotta give credit to the people who work on the mic too. So whatever happens, this better be the main event of Stand and Deliver because it's the match I'm the most hyped about. I really can't wait for this match. And next week, I'm hoping we get a tag team match where Giulia and Stephanie have to team up against Jada and Jordynne. That seems like an incredibly dramatic mess of a match that I just want to see. Backstage, Hank and Tank are preparing for their match when Swipe Right comes up to them. Swipe Right tries to give them advice, but Hank and Tank say that they're not that desperate to take advice from them. So Swipe Right instantly go into their match where they get their asses whooped by Fraxium, who retains the NXT Tag Team Championships in an NXT Tag Team Championship match. I mean, what much is there to say? Kayfabe wise, Fraxium is the best tag team going in wrestling right now, and Swipe Right is this new up and coming team. They were never gonna win, but I don't really care. Swipe Right is really entertaining, and I think they add a nice mix to the NXT tag team division. And this was a fairly okay match, so I don't mind it that much. I just hope Swipe Right are gone from Evolve now and remain in NXT, because I think they'd be a good fit here. Okay, the culling. Let's talk about the culling. Because online, I see a lot of people don't like them, and I don't get it because me personally, I've enjoyed this faction a lot. I really enjoyed them a lot. I enjoyed it when Shawn Spears won the North American Championship. I've been one of their biggest defenders. Like, I want to know from you guys, what do you not like about it? I get they're relatively generic, but for some reason there's this, not charisma, this infatuation with them that they're kind of interesting. So Shawn Spears, basically, he's backstage, and the rest of the culling is basically apologizing to him that they were sort of a reason that he lost the North American Championship. But he says it's fine because he's never won a championship before, and that was his first one in WWE. And that it's not about him, it's about all of them. So tonight, they all should go out and impress. And that's what happens. First, it's Izzy Dame, who has a match against Ren Sinclair, which she wins and goes on to the ladder match at Stand and Deliver. There was kind of a botched ending, but I don't really care. Izzy is pretty cool, and Ren has kind of lost all her momentum for me. So I'd much rather see Izzy in that match. I think she would add a lot difference to that match compared to everyone that's already in it. And then when it comes to the culling, or well, the tag team that is not Shawn Spears, they have a victory over Hank and Tank. So the culling have a pretty successful NXT night tonight. All of them win their matches, and Shawn Spears will probably get a rematch down the line. I don't know when, but all in all, I'm really enjoying this faction. I'm excited to see where it's going. But on the match with the culling and Hank and Tank, I'm really starting to enjoy this NXT tag team division. There's a lot that needs work. I understand that. A lot of the teams are still very bare bones, but that's why they're on NXT. You're still developing your characters, still getting into your groove. While Frax team is the only team that really has their things figured out, for the most part, the rest of the teams are still getting there, but there's a lot of teams that I see a lot of potential in and I'm quite excited to see grow. For example, Hank and Tank, who I'm really enjoying the story that we're telling with them. I'm just not buying into their characters yet. There's something missing. And when it comes to Tyson Dupont and Tyreek Igwe, there's also still something missing, but I'm still really enjoying what they're doing. So for the most part, all of these teams just have something missing, but they're gonna find it because again, they're all still very new. Back to the Women's North American Championship qualifiers, Fatal Influence are backstage. They're arguing about who is going to compete tonight because Ava gave them the opportunity. Fallon wants to go, but JC says no, you've already lost all your opportunities. And then Fallon hits her back with, well JC, you've been super kicked too much recently, you're not thinking straight. And Jasmine Nix, the queen Jasmine Nix, just says she's gonna take that opportunity and go for it. She ends up losing to Soruka, so it didn't really matter. But I'm glad Jasmine Nix got that opportunity because we haven't really seen her a lot, and damn, she's great. Like I've said that in videos like 6-8 months ago, that she's gonna be a future star, and she's kinda slowed down since then. But tonight again just proves that there's a lot there for her. So Soruka advances great, she's always great in these types of matches, but I'm really intrigued by this Fatal Influence story because it seems like they're breaking up. And I really wish that Jasmine Nix got a victory tonight, not over Soruka, maybe someone else. But I wish she did because I think that would have progressed this Fatal Influence breakup further, because their whole thing is rookies don't respect them. And they want respect from rookies. They're the veterans that deserve all these opportunities. So a rookie amongst their own ranks getting that high of an opportunity would kind of piss them off. So I kind of wanted to see that. Not gonna happen, but I'm still intrigued about that whole thing and this whole Fatal Influence breakup. Then backstage, all of the women who have lost in this whole qualifying matches are backstage complaining to Ava, and Ava announces there will be no last chance qualifiers this year. But she has a different idea and Roxanne instantly shuts it down. Roxanne Perez says, I won't be fighting a tag team match, I don't have a partner. Because amongst her were Fatal Influence and the Meta Girls. Now I don't know what this means, I don't know what Ava's idea is, I'm intrigued by it, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed hoping, it's the reintroduction of the Women's Tag Team Championships in NXT. I've made multiple videos about it, I've said it in every one of my NXT videos, I want those titles back. And since they teased that it's a tag team match, I don't think they just put a random ass tag team match on Stand and Deliver. That wouldn't make a lot of sense. But if they brought the Women's Tag Team Championships back, that will kind of make sense, and Roxanne can find her own partner. I don't know, don't really care who, Gorjade, who cares? If that's what happens, I want to see that. Okay, now let's get into this Ricky Starks promo, because this was kind of whack. Ricky Starks comes out and he celebrates winning the North American Championship, as he should. But he cuts it very short and he goes right at Ethan Page, dissing Ethan Page, talking about how he's done what Ethan Page never could, change the game in a few months while also having the love of the fans. Then Lexis King comes out and Lexis King wants a match at Stand and Deliver for the North American Championship. Even though he has the Heritage Cup, he wants more gold. Then Eddy Thorpe comes out and Eddy Thorpe says, well, the North American Championships is his by birthright, because he's Native American, he presents to all of North America. And then Wes Lee comes out and says that championship was in its prime when it was with him and he should have it back. And all of these guys get into a kind of squabble with each other. And then Eddy Thorpe hits Lexis King with, oh, so you're just another white guy that's trying to take what's not yours. And I was like, whoa, okay, NXT went there, because that's kind of a crazy topic to address in today's time in America especially. I'm not American, but I know that's kind of a sensitive topic, so I'm surprised they went there. But who cares? Ethan Page attacks Ricky Starks from behind. Ricky Saints. I'm still not used to saying Saints. Ricky Saints. So he attacks Ricky Saints from behind. Everybody tries to pick up the championship at the same time. That causes a brawl between everyone in the ring. And with everybody somehow ending outside, Wes Lee jumps over the top rope, hits them all out, and he stands tall. Poor Wes Lee. He instantly has to go into a match with Inamura that was set up last week. That didn't happen. It was supposed to happen last week. For some reason it didn't. We get it this week. Hey, Wes Lee wins. Good for Wes Lee. I'm starting to really like him again, this whole faction. There's a lot there. I'm excited to see where this Wes Lee thing goes. But next week we're going to have a Fatal 4-Way match, which is going to determine who's going to face Ricky Saints at the pay-per-view. It's probably going to be Ethan Page, but all of these guys, I'd like to see all of these guys for it. I don't want to see it a Fatal 5-Way match. I would like to see them all have their feud against Ricky Starks, but honestly, I wouldn't mind either of these guys winning, but it's probably going to be Ethan Page. Now it's main event time. Obafemi, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans versus Darkstate. I mean, let's be honest here, Darkstate is cool as fuck. I don't care what anyone says, this faction is really cool. Even in this match in particular, I really got to see who each of these guys are individually. Don't ask me their names yet. I know one guy's name is Sugar, the other guy's name is Cutler, at least their last names I think. Then you have Dion Lennox and the guy outside. I don't really know they are. I can get the idea who they all are. But the main story of this match was Trick Williams and Obafemi couldn't see eye to eye, while Javon Evans was really trying his best. And at the end, Trick Williams and Obafemi just went at it. They forgot about the match, left Javon Evans on his own, and that was their downfall at the end of the match. Darkstate picks up the victory, a very major victory for their debut, beating inarguably the 3 biggest stars in NXT. You know, there was shenanigans, but who cares? They won, and I'm really liking this faction, man. They're really cool. I was very hesitant at the start of how they were being booked, but right now, man, I'm fully invested. But the major thing here is, after the match, Stax appears on the Titantron and he challenges them to a match next week. Not a Stand and Deliver next week, not any match, a parking lot brawl. We all know what happens in NXT's parking lot. People are about to get murdered, and I'm so excited for this. Next week's NXT feels like it's going to be just as chaotic. And hell, then we have Stand and Deliver like 2 days after that, very early in the morning. Man, next week's for NXT is going to be insane. But tonight, it was so good. It was a 10 out of 10. And that's exactly what my rating is for the show, a 10 out of 10. NXT was great tonight. I loved everything. Everything flowed really fast, and I liked that, but everything still felt contained. Even though it was chaotic, it was a contained chaotic. It made sense. Everything was good. This episode of NXT, just go watch it. Everything was really fun, really exciting. There was constant action, lots of matches, lots of promos, but everything was insanely good. So really, go check this episode out. It was 10 out of 10. I loved it. It was perfect. And if you like NXT, you should leave a like and subscribe, because I cover NXT every week, along with TNA and lots of other stuff relating to WWE, such as Raw, SmackDown, and some pay-per-views. So, if you're interested in that, leave a like, subscribe. This channel is growing very fast, so I hope you join this community. Anyways, I hope to see you again soon. Leave a like, subscribe. Goodbye.